Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson's injury looked like it should have ended everything, yet somehow it became the foundation for one of the most unbelievable comebacks the sport has ever seen. In the final week of the 2011 season, he took a direct hit to his knee that bent it inward in a way fans instantly recognized as catastrophic. The diagnosis confirmed what everyone feared, because both the ACL and MCL were torn, and the timeline for recovery usually stretched beyond the next year. But Peterson treated the injury like a personal challenge. He pushed trainers, demanded faster progress, and attacked rehab with a level of intensity that shocked even the Vikings staff. Every report during that offseason hinted at a possible delay, yet Peterson blew past every checkpoint. 9 months later, he returned in week 1 and ran like he had lost nothing. He finished the year with 2,097 rushing yards, showing that a devastating injury could not slow his determination. And what happens later in this video shows injuries can take careers in the exact opposite direction. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's injury felt like watching a star collapse in real time because the play looked harmless until his knee gave out on the Giants sideline. He planted awkwardly, grabbed his leg, and dropped instantly as teammates waved for help. When the replay showed the buckle, fans knew what was coming. The torn ACL erased his entire 2020 season and transformed one of the league's most electric runners into a long rehab project. The pressure on Barkley was enormous because he carried New York's offense, and the injury created doubts about whether he could ever regain that rare explosiveness. Reports throughout rehab painted a picture of someone grinding through every setback, building strength, and trying to silence every rumor about his long-term durability. When he returned, flashes of old Saquon showed up, but lingering questions remained about the long shadow of that moment. The injury became a turning point in how teams viewed workload, conditioning, and recovery timelines. But what happens next in this video shows how even a clean tear can look tame compared to what some runners endured. James Conner. James Conner's 2025 injury stunned the Cardinals because it felt like a simple tackle until his foot was trapped under a defender and twisted violently outward. He stayed down immediately, clutching at the leg while the entire Arizona sideline surrounded him. Trainers called for the cart, and fans held their breath as Conner, one of the team's most respected leaders, tried to stay composed. Early reports mentioned an ankle issue, but coaches later revealed the truth was far worse because the injury centered on the foot itself. He needed season-ending surgery that would remove him from the lineup until at least 2026. It was a crushing blow for a player who had delivered back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and anchored the offense through multiple quarterback changes. Losing him forced the team to elevate younger backs like Trey Benson and Bam Knight while scrambling to find any consistency on the ground. For Conner, the setback was another test of resilience after years of battling adversity. The moment showed how quickly a season can flip, and what comes next in this video gets even tougher to watch. Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis's injury in 1999 was the kind of moment that shifts an entire franchise because it happened during a play he should never have been part of. After an interception, Davis instinctively chased down the defender to make a tackle, and in that chaotic pile, his right knee twisted underneath him. The torn ACL and MCL ended his season on the spot, but the long-term damage went far beyond that single moment. After rushing for 2,000 yards the year before, Davis suddenly faced reconstructive surgery, months of rehab, and a knee that never responded the way it once had. Complications followed, including stress reactions, swelling, and microfracture procedures that chipped away at the explosiveness that defined his prime. Denver's offense shifted dramatically as the team lost the engine that powered its championship identity. Davis kept fighting to return, but every comeback attempt was met with another setback. The injury not only changed his career, it reshaped how teams assessed durability during peak years. And what unfolds later in this script shows other runners dealt with twisted fates of their own. CJ Spiller. CJ Spiller's injury came during an ordinary run that instantly turned into a nightmare because he landed awkwardly and felt something snap high in his shoulder. The broken collarbone was obvious the moment he rolled over in pain, and the Bills sideline knew immediately that this would not be a quick return. Trainers stabilized the area as teammates gathered around him, understanding that a collarbone break for a running back can erase explosiveness for an entire season. Spiller entered that year as one of the league's most dynamic playmakers, known for his burst and ability to score from anywhere on the field. The injury crushed Buffalo's offensive rhythm and forced the team to rely on backups who could not replicate his game-breaking speed. Recovery required surgery, and the long process threw off Spiller's timing when he finally saw the field again. The break marked a turning point in his career trajectory and exposed how fragile momentum can be in the NFL. The emotional weight of watching a promising season unravel reminded fans that every carry carries danger, and the next injury offers an even harsher reminder. Cam Skattebo. Cam Skattebo's injury shocked fans because it looked like chaos in real time, and the details revealed later made it sound even worse. During a Week 8 clash against the Eagles, he was tackled awkwardly and the lower half of his leg twisted to the side, leaving his ankle fully dislocated. Doctors later explained that he had also broken his fibula, torn critical ligaments, and snapped a stabilizing tendon that normally keeps the lower leg aligned. His ankle had rotated nearly 90 degrees, and the team rushed him to the hospital for emergency surgery. Surgeons inserted a stabilizing tightrope device drilled through the bones to reconnect everything, a fix that sounded brutal even to veteran players. Before the injury, Skattebo had been one of the most productive rookies in the league, energizing the Giants' offense with toughness and burst. Losing him crushed team morale, and teammates spoke about the emotional toll of seeing a friend go down in such a violent way. It gets worse because this kind of trauma often changes a player permanently. But first, only cool people are subscribed to this channel, so hit that subscribe button before we go any further. Reggie Bush's injury happened in a way that made fans gasp because it had nothing to do with the defender. While returning a punt in St. Louis, he was shoved out of bounds and stepped directly onto an exposed concrete strip behind the sideline. His cleats lost traction instantly, and his knee twisted violently as he collapsed forward. The torn ACL ended his season on the spot, and the freak nature of the accident made the moment go viral across the league. Bush later sued the stadium for unsafe field conditions and won, exposing a major oversight in player safety. Before the injury, Bush had been a versatile weapon who could change momentum with one touch. The slip cost him critical explosiveness and altered the final stretch of his prime. Even teammates said the fall looked far worse in person than on television because they saw how the knee bent when he went down. The aftermath sparked debates about sideline layouts across the league, and the next injury on this list reveals just how cruel some moments can get. Destry Wright. Destry Wright's injury remains one of the most heartbreaking preseason moments because it destroyed a career before it truly began. During a run in a 2000 exhibition game, he planted his foot and was hit from the side, causing his leg to twist grotesquely as he fell face down. When teammates reached him, they realized his ankle was pointing upward while the rest of his leg was turned the opposite direction. The combination of a broken fibula and a fully dislocated ankle left him in immediate agony and ended his NFL dreams instantly. Wright had shown flashes of potential and carried hopes of carving out a role with the Steelers, but the severity of the injury made any comeback impossible. Trainers worked quickly, yet nothing could undo the damage done in that single moment. For fans, the injury is remembered as one of the most disturbing visuals of that era. It highlighted the razor-thin margins that separate opportunity from tragedy in the league, and the next section dives into an injury that shocked an entire stadium. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's injury in 2023 became one of the most replayed moments on social media, despite ESPN refusing to air another angle. On a goal line run against Pittsburgh, Minkah Fitzpatrick crashed into his knee from the side, causing it to bend inward in a sickening way that made the crowd gasp. The immediate reaction told the entire story as players covered their faces and medical staff sprinted onto the field. Multiple ligaments were torn, the joint dislocated, and surgeons needed to perform extensive repairs to stabilize everything. Chubb had already fought through a devastating knee trauma in college, so seeing him suffer something that violent again devastated teammates and fans. He had been one of the most respected runners in the league, known for power, balance, and quiet leadership. The injury reshaped Cleveland's season and created uncertainty about the future of a player widely admired for his toughness. And as horrifying as Chubb's injury was, the final section features something even more catastrophic. Napoleon McCallum. Napoleon McCallum's injury is often cited as one of the most disturbing in NFL history because the footage made stomachs churn the moment it happened. During a Monday night game against the 49ers in 1994, he was wrapped up during a tackle and his leg bent backward in a way no joint is meant to move. The hyperextension tore multiple ligaments, severed nerves, and damaged an artery, transforming a simple play into a medical emergency. Players turned away instantly, shaken by the unnatural angle of his leg. McCallum was rushed to the hospital where doctors worked to save the limb and stabilize circulation. His NFL career ended that night, and recovery became a long journey focused on basic function rather than football. The severity of the trauma forced the league to confront the dangers of certain tackle angles and the fragility of the human body. McCallum's injury remains a grim reminder that even routine plays can have life-altering consequences. If you like this video, consider watching this next one, which YouTube thinks you're going to really love.